find really good drivers of your brand who speak to it, and you can have a face, you can have a voice, you can have a spirit. 3 wise men, 3 wise girls, wise ladies, whatever. Just make sure you got the wise. If you got those wise people and like the spirit, your brand will go. The people will choose it. That's it. You don't have to do anything else. Like, they'll choose your thing. I believe in the taste. I believe in my curation. So I don't have to beg for what we're looking for, and I think that the brand doesn't have to either. It just supports how the foundation of the culture and trend is supported. Needs support.
Cozy with Calinnah, na 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 na. Cozy with Calinnah.
This is Cozy with Calinnah, a space for real conversations, soft pauses, and becoming who we are. Today I'm sitting with FERG.JP. Welcome to the podcast.
Yo, Cozy with Calinnah. What's up, Calinnah? Thanks for having me.
Of course. Thank you for being here. We've been friends for a minute, so I'm glad to have you on.
Second time in the home. It's always
Second
nice
time in the home.
the cozy couch.
That's
so you
right.
know where we at.
Right. So let's dive into it. So White Durag, you are the founder.
Yeah.
We love it. I've been to a lot of your events, so it's been really, really fun. But I wanted to know more about the origin story and what you felt was missing in the scene before you had this amazing idea.
Man, the thing about like the scene in general is you got to experience. You never really know what you're missing or what it's missing, you know? So we thought of it. It was a time where we needed our friends to come and have a place to like meet up together. So it actually started with my partner back in DC. Shout out Marcus. Shout out Major Perks. He wanted to do something for his birthday, and he was like, "Hey Mo, I'm about to have a White Durag party. We all gonna dress like Jagged Edge and Boys to Men, and we gonna sing Christmas and we gonna sing carols, Mo, for my birthday." And I was like, "You're an idiot. You're an idiot." But that's hilarious. And it took me like 5 minutes, and I came back to the idea, and I said, "Do it on Christmas." His birthday's in December, so I was like, "Do it on Christmas. All of our friends come back from college and X, Y, and Z, and it'll become a reunion thing." We did it at a house party. Goes viral.
Oh,
and
wow.
we put
Immediately.
it on, no, not immediately, but we pretty much immediately. Yeah, we dropped the flyer, and the flyer just had like, this is before he was canceled. It had like R. Kelly on the cover, Beanie Siegel, and there's a bunch of people who were known for wearing do-rags, you know, and whatnot. And then like we dropped it, and it just said it just had our @names on it. So then it just got picked up by other cities, and they were like, "Yo, is this in Fayetteville? Is this in Brooklyn?
Really?
Is this in New Jersey? Is this in Bushwick?" This like all these different places, in different cities. And I was like, "No, this is in Silver Spring, Maryland, the suburbs of Maryland and like DMV." So when I realized there was that this was something that an idea that kind of sat in a bunch of different markets. So we just kind of decided that, okay. And I was about to move to New York at that time, so we took it to New York. We got popping out there, had a bunch of meetings with a bunch of different brands and like organizations. Like Complex showed us love early. Shout out Jinx and them. Who else showed us love real early? My boy Corey Towns, my boy Dizzy. Shout out Dizzy. They gave us a lot of the resources and understanding and knowledge to like even know how the space moves. You know, I think at the time we didn't know what we had, and I think that we just hit our 10 years last year.
Already?
10 years was last year. I didn't even really, we didn't really make it big. I'm not like, you know, benchmarks are benchmarks for me. Like the work is the work. So I just try to always like show it. So I didn't really celebrate the 10 years. We celebrated in Japan. We did Japan for 10 years.
I know.
So,
that was cool.
So we got to do some fly shit. So, but yeah, that's like the origin stories really much. But it didn't come from a place of we thought the space needed it. I think the space called for us. I think that we saw that there was a room, very much so like trends are now. People are wearing True Religions, Von Dutch, and different things again. We had an idea in 2015 that we saw that Y2K, there was no 2000s party. It didn't exist. It didn't really exist in that form yet because we were just ushering out of it. But 5 to 10 years later, after the pandemic, the Y2K and that boom is all we're seeing now, that the girls and everyone wants to do the glasses, the Von Dutch, the baby fat, FUBU, all this is coming directly back in culture. So I think that the space called for us to do that. Actually, we didn't just find it. It chose us. So that's how I think about it. Yeah.
So was this like when Instagram was popping off already? Because how were you marketing it, and how did that come about? How did people find out?
I was a Twitter troll at the time when we first started it. Like we would just troll on Twitter all the time, and just like, so I found a community of people who were just wanted to just be funny. And because I was in
Yeah.
those spaces, the stuff would just the tweets would kind of and we still call them tweets, Elon. The tweets would kind of like move out of the space because of my friends, just of my network. But I was
Oh,
but
okay.
like I was actually pushing my digital resume was always on Instagram, So
Yeah.
it was Instagram and Twitter. And shoot, as much as a marketing person as I am, I really don't leverage most of the social things. Like
Mm.
I still leverage my network. I only invite
Mm.
people. All my relationships and people who come are directly because I invited them and I make them feel something. So I think
Yeah.
that essence is in our events too, which kind of
Right.
helps us and gives us our edge. Is that I'm not really trying to I'm not really trying to sell anything. I think that
Mm.
the market's ready to buy.
Interesting.
So that's how I think of like how I'm like trying to show things.
Yeah, and I feel like networking is like a huge thing. Like it helps, right? Like if it's like your homies already, you might as well invite them to the party.
Why not?
You
You
know
want
what
to
I
party
mean?
with your homies, right?
Right, exactly. So that's cool. And did you realize it was more than a party and it turned more into like a movement? Because it seemed like it kind of went fast.
I didn't know I had a movement till halfway in it. Um,
Mm.
I saw people that wanted to, it's movements are crazy because you just look up and then one day people are following you. Like
Mm.
you were running, you're just running.
Yeah.
You're making movement, you're making motion, and sometimes
Right.
you don't think you want the essence of it. You want people to follow you, but
Yeah.
I don't think you really understand that until they actually start following you. We saw that in Frankenstein, like that new. I love that movie because like it starts with like he wanted to build something in
Mm.
the new Frankenstein, and then he
Oh,
builds
okay.
this thing, and then he realizes, oh wow, this thing has to live after I built it. It's sentient. It exists. It moves. It's autonomous without me or whatever. I don't think people think about that once they make something. People want to continue it to move. And a
Mm.
lot of people just think of the creation of it, but now that you created it, people are in this vehicle. It can move people. Um, I think that that's when I realized that I was moving people, and even this, especially these last couple years, the motion turned into more us thinking we having a DJ collective and like supporting the DJs, where it
Yeah.
turned into more artists are coming out and their managers want to reach out to us. So yeah, it
Right.
turned into a movement for artists, and we don't really know what actually the tool is used for until somebody uses it differently.
Right.
Um,
Interesting.
so
So
those are
did
kind of things that I looked at.
Gotcha. So did it started as a party and then just other people, different people of different circles just started kind of hitting you up and asking to utilize White Durag for other reasons then.
Pretty much people
Mm.
called upon us. We don't have our services posted anywhere. I have friends and I have people in networks who just reach out, think they might have a problem, and they might think of me as someone who can solve it. We might have a solution. The
Mm.
parties are a byproduct of those solutions. It's like a hook. I guess it's a hook or like a worm.
Mm.
Like the party's just to get you on our boat.
I see.
That's how I look at it. So
Oh, okay.
um
Just to be
but they're
part
lit
of.
though. They're fucking lit.
Yeah,
Like
they're super lit.
we're not gonna sit here and close down the party. But like at the end of the day, the
Yeah.
White Durag party and what we created was more so just to get people's attention. It's
Mm.
powerful. It's quick. It's a quick jab. It's a right hook. It's whatever you need to get in that fight to get it off.
Yeah.
But once you're on the boat, once you're in the car, you realize you're in a Bugatti. You're on a yacht, and then there's a bunch of different things. We can do creative direction. We can do brand events. We can do merch. We can do publishing, distribution. So
Yeah.
it's a bunch of different services that come in here. But I think that again, the space called for that. We were just throwing a
Mm.
party. We were just trying to figure out a way that we can get all our friends talking. And
Yeah.
after that, they wanted to keep talking.
Yeah, and word of mouth spreads fast too,
That's
especially
the most important
in
form
the
of marketing is
community.
word of mouth.
Yeah.
Always.
Always,
They had
always.
they had someone who I just saw. He old white dude was just like, come smoke a cigarette with me in Central Park, and I think it went viral on TikTok or something. It was like at the top of December, smoke one cigarette for me. It was like the event was from 12 to 12:05. Why did
hilarious.
like 10,000? I don't know how people. There's like thousands of people pulled up to smoke a cigarette in this park with this old man, and
Wow.
he posted
That's
it on
catchy.
Facebook, but again, like he didn't have a bunch of friends. I guarantee you, it's word of mouth. And like when there's a quirky idea,
Yeah.
when it's a quirky idea,
Mm.
people will get behind it. People love quirk. People love nuance. People love avant-garde or just things that like are different. I think that White Durag speaks to a very, very different piece that most people didn't really get to experience because it didn't exist yet. We didn't know it existed. Again, like the 2000, we had 90s parties, 80s parties, 70s parties, but there was nobody throwing a 2000s party. Throwbacks, bandanas, headbands, and one shoes, FUBU. There was no one doing that stuff. So I think that we found a space or a niche that allowed us to kind of like, explore that. And I think that artists, DJs, and just other curators and creators wanted to experience that as well.
Gotcha. And was there anything scary about the growth? Like anything that you felt along the way?
Yeah, the growth that's a really good question, because like growth is really scary because you don't know. But I mean, like, we always are growing. Like, I think of growth like when you're losing teeth. Like, losing your teeth is scary. Like, when you're losing your teeth, you're like, oh, it's gonna grow back, but then you got that weird gum and it's like sensitive. It's sensitive there until that new one comes, but then you're gonna grow back and it's gonna be the set that you actually need.
Yeah.
I am very, very, very adamant on the growth and making sure that you create the foundation so you can continue that.
Right.
When we started growing, I didn't know what was actually going on. People were calling for us to do different services that didn't exist. I think I touched on this earlier. The people I founded this with, we were more so focused. We're purveyors of music. Like, we're spectators. We're innovators in the culture, but we're also spectators. Like, we're looking, we're seeing everything. So I think when we started White Durag, we were fans of music and fans of DJs. It started as a DJ conduit to like do that because we couldn't DJ. As it started growing, artists were seeing our services because the space was bringing the coolest people.
I see.
Now artists want to use our services, brands want to use our services, liquor companies. So your mission can change. Your mission can change because the people who are calling you for do stuff. So if I'm building something in the foundation strictly to support DJs, it's a completely different sentence if people want their artists to be performed. So people are asking us can they perform at our events? And we haven't even built the foundation for artists to be performing. And I'm like, well, where does this go in the DJ set? So we started putting small artists in the DJ sets, doing playlists and little ways to like kind of interact the artists. And then I think that the biggest growth thing that we did was when we started doing tours and we made our partnership with Guap. Shout out my dog Guap, Dad 4000.
Shout out.
Shout out Guap. But he just showed us that any artist can be included into this vehicle and can continue moving. Again, a Bugatti. Like, I'll use Birdman as an example. Like, Birdman had Wayne. Then he got Young Thug. Then he got NBA Youngboy. The vehicle is Cash Money and Birdman.
Right.
The drivers keep changing. Those drivers have always changed. So find really good drivers of your brand who speak to it, and you can have a face, you can have a voice, you can have a spirit. 3 wise men, 3 wise girls, wise ladies, whatever. Just make sure you got the wise. If you got those wise people and like the spirit, your brand will go. The people will choose it. That's it. You don't have to do anything else. Like, they'll choose your thing. I believe in the taste. I believe in my curation. So I don't have to beg for what we're looking for, and I think that the brand doesn't have to either. It just supports how the foundation of the culture and trend is supported. Needs support.
Right.
So.
Oh wow, very cool. And you've said you care more about setting the culture than following trends, right? I mean, it seems like you're ahead of the trends most of the time, which is great too. But what does that actually require, like, in setting that tone? Is it through building your community? Is it through just kind of like trial and error? Like, I'm learning so much myself about branding,
Insanity.
Insanity.
You have to be insane about the most nuanced of subjects. I will talk to people about nothing that has nothing to do with music, but the concept might relate to something. I might like a rug, and how that rug is made might go through a completely deliberate but debilitating process on that rug. What's to say that can't be applied to a business? What's to say that can't be applied to the culture? So I study those things. I study fashion. I'm studying architecture. And most of the time I'm studying memes and tweets because, again, ultimately, I'm just a troll. I like to make people laugh. White Durag was a joke. Again, White Durag was a joke.
Oh.
And how do we get these cultural things to make jokes? When Virgil made Off-White, it was called Pyrex before, and he...
Was it?
Yeah, it was called
I
Pyrex.
never knew this.
Yeah, Off-White is called Pyrex. And it was called Pyrex because Pyrex is how you cook cook the drugs. I'm not gonna say this on your podcast, but you cook
It's fine.
you cook drugs in that on the stove. So they called it Pyrex. Pyrex cease and desist. You cannot name your thing because you actually have some clout. So what did he call the color? He called it off white because the color of said drug after you cook it is off white. He was able to trick people as a joke to put drug culture directly on the Parisian runway.
Oh,
So
wow, that's wild.
that's wild. Exactly. I think that most people are telling their jokes like they want to. Culture is a way of. It's a callback. It's an ironic callback to that because the streets and everything else in culture it's traumatic. I think that real artists curators are looking for a way to um attach their trauma to ideas or even like make them bigger. And I think that sometimes you need a medium. Sometimes the medium is DJing. Sometimes it's artistry. Sometimes
Right.
it's design. Sometimes maybe you're a musician. Maybe you're a cook, a chef, whatever, man.
Yeah.
Shout out my brother too, the best chef ever.
Hey.
We gonna plug our friends
I've
on
had
this.
some of the food.
Yeah, we're real cozy.
Mom.
So good food, good food.
food,
We
good
gonna
food.
maybe he can get one day. You get him on here.
Hey, I'm down.
Yeah,
I'm
when
so
he's out
down.
here.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, just back to that. Like when I'm studying the trends, it's like the most nuance of things will help me like see where the culture is at. Again, I didn't know what the culture needs. I just know what I like.
I love that.
I
how
just trust myself.
Yeah. I love how like you elevate a concept, especially like if it's with your culture. Like for example, Filipinos. Like if I were to talk about something like food in my songs or something, like maybe that would resonate a little more because it's relatable.
It's
You already have a
relatable.
culture, a community that's attached to it. So,
Even when I was working with artists, not when I still do work with artists, but when we're like talking about how their brand looks,
right.
a lot of times I ask them not where they're from, but where their people are from. If this is a like you're Filipino, so I
Right.
mean you're in Long Beach like physically,
Yeah.
and from here. But when it comes about where you're from, you actually will gain more eyes if you lean on the Filipino American.
Right. Totally.
It's a different thing. That's just real life SEO. So
Yeah.
try to pull out the keywords of all the things that you do in real life. Look at those trends and those things that are online, and just try to reapply them. If your thing is online, me again, I told you, sometimes I don't get on Instagram for a whole week, just because I like to keep my mind a little.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I think that's a good thing too, because you don't want to compare too much all the time, or else you're not really focused. You're focused on other people's stuff than your own. So I can see why like you need a little bit time to like regulate all of that. It's a thing. Like that's why I feel like the depression epidemic is so high
hell yeah.
because it's just comparing all the time. Like how can you every 3 seconds you're like on to the next video? That's too much like stimuli, I think.
No, it's way too much. I'll take a bunch of sabbaticals. Like I think 2 years ago, I had my comments off for a whole entire year, and my manager hates like, oh, we can't get the proper engagement, and I'm like, I don't even want the comments were adultery sometimes on my ideas. Sometimes like you're putting this fire emoji on here, and I can't take that to the bank. It's like there's absolutely nothing for that, and sometimes I just want my idea to exist. Imagine you writing something. You've seen graffiti on the wall sometimes. Sometimes they preserve it. Sometimes I take just as much as my idea sometimes as a point in time and something that I created, and sometimes I don't even want anybody commenting on it. It doesn't even need a comment. It's what I think. Why do I need your comment on it?
Right.
What
That's
is
true.
what is the comment can't really, it won't change how I think. It'll just change how I think. It'll make me overthink.
It'll make you overthink. Yeah.
So I sometimes I go times I won't even get on. So right now currently I just choose not to check it. I have the brand, but the brand it's a entity and enigma. It moves by itself even without me doing anything.
Yeah.
So but on myself personally, sometimes I'm offline.
I got you. That's healthy.
I'm trying.
Yeah, but I think because you have a lot of other projects too, it kind of like, okay, well that one's kind of like nothing's ever stopping. It's just kind of like having its moments, like seasons, and I'm learning more about that. Like, okay, I'm focusing on the podcast and I'm focusing on the music, and it's okay to kind of give that pause in between so that you have to live life also. Like, in what world is just like you're nonstop, like no
Exactly.
breaks at all? It's kind of it's very unhealthy in my opinion.
No, that's very true.
But yeah, so speaking of brands, you also created Thanks for Sleeping.
Thanks for sleeping. That's my baby for real.
Yes, I love your products. And this was a response to hustle culture. I saw in an interview that your mind is always going and going and going.
I have crazy ADHD, and whatever other name that they do, whatever letters and that they put up, I probably got it.
Yeah. And where did that idea come from?
Shoot the music. Like it was it was an idea. Like one day, back down to jokes. I have a group chat with all our family, like everybody does, and we were just talking one day, and I'm working on a project. I was working on my album, my 2020 album. It was my first album in 5 years. I make albums every 5 years. I got one that's coming out this year
now.
too. So
check that out.
It's coming. But I made it, and like it was, and I just made an idea, and the album was so good, and I was just like, damn, I should make pillows for as much as these niggas sleep on me. And the group chat just laughed. Laughed. Like it was a lot of laughs. Like I mean, LMFAO. I'm like, oh, okay, that's pretty funny. You made a joke. You win the group chat today.
Right.
But then again, I went back 10 minutes later, and I was like, that's a good idea, because it's direct. It's direct to thing. Like the iPhone was the iPhone. It's mine. It's possessive. It's a phone. It was extremely. So when I said thanks for sleeping on me, why not put that phrase on the pillow? So it made it. It was actually album merch. And then as Susie, shout out my lady. She helped me design all this. Like she's so fire. She has all like the trend research and whatnot. So like that keeps me like, you know, that's actually the cheat code. That's my game shark.
I mean,
lady.
y'all are both like working in trends and knowing what's ahead of trends. So I mean, that's like gold right there.
That's what makes Thanks for Sleeping really good, is that I can just sit here and have these wild ideas, and then it can actually be refined inside of what is industry standard. So that's what's really cool. But I thought of the name, and then I told her, and then she was just like, we started building on the concept, and then it became a whole product line. And then people started asking us to make products for them, and then people started asking us to think for them, and people started asking us to research for them. And then we were like, hold on, this is like a whole like a gift product engine gifting suite, but creative agency.
Right.
So we just started making product that could kind of push the name of the creative agency to get the name out there. So why not pillows? Why not mugs? Why not other things? But ultimately, we want to design for brands like Nike, Adidas, Apple, what's Coca-Cola.
Big brands.
Like I want to do big brands. I want to do really big brand ideation stuff, like leaning into AI and a bunch of different stuff. But at the same time, the core and essence of it, just kind of still sticking to product. I think that, you know, like the age-old thing, but I could go on to spiel. We live in a digital world and things, but yeah, we live in a digital world, and sometimes I just want to touch something. Sometimes,
feel
you know what? I'll tell you this. You ever want to touch something? Go to the bank and take out $5,000 and then show your phone. There's going to be a big difference with how it feels if you have 5 in your hand and 5 in your account. It just feels different.
Yeah, that's so true.
And it's physical.
Yeah.
It's just a physical thing.
A physical product.
So I use that. That's my band example.
How cute is this? I love this product.
Come on, y'all.
So good.
You on QVC right now.
So
This can be yours for the small price of $59. I forgot what the price is, but they might be on sale.
You got to check it online.
Check
the website. Exactly. I love it. Even like the puffer. That's like you guys are really good at the details too, though.
Thank you.
Like,
that was
teamwork.
The puff was I got that from my mom. Like she used to always wear these like.
I remember those shirts.
Yeah, the puff,
or sweaters.
They were puff shirts, but they were more like it's like they were popular on HBCUs in the 90s. So HBCUs were just like it was like you could feel it, and then it would be like really cool. So I took it from like she went to North Carolina A&T, so she would just have all these different shirts, and then I wanted it to just look like a gift, like, you know, canvas, like something that would be super clean, but this one to be bold. I worked on this mark for like 30 days, like with my boy Helly. Shout out Helly. He's
only 30 days. You make it seem like that was a long time.
It was a long time. Like we had it. Like this looks so different. There was like literally every single star and how their place is all organized. It took us forever to get this down.
Like placement. Yeah.
And then we started messing up like how this looked, because I was like, nothing should be perfect. Just nothing should be perfect. So that's what I like about it. It's fun. It looks fun. It feels fun.
Yeah, I love it. I love your products and the different like color waves and everything like that. So shout out to Thanks for Sleeping and the team.
Hey, thanks for sleeping on me all day.
All right. So, we talk about different brands and just building yourself in other ways. Do you see world building as an art form?
Absolutely, and you need to pay world builders.
Mm,
I think that they're like we're in an era now where like people are just vibe coding and people who aren't traditionally like trained in these stuff like that. A world builder is just somebody who you trust their eye, like a Rick Rubin
mm,
or like a Mike Dean. And Mike Dean for sure is like they're all these people are. Mike Dean is more officially trained than a Rick Rubin, but who's to say that both of them aren't doing similar things? And when it is in
mm,
the creation process, one is actually touching the boards, one is influencing them. I think both are
mm.
very, very important jobs. World
Mm-hmm.
builders influence how people move in everyday life.
Right.
And 9 times out of 10, some of the biggest world builders are behind some of the icons that we know to this day. I have my phone is like filled with people who I know are running like the cause of some of the biggest icons that we know, and those are world builders. Those are the real
Right.
world builders. And with I think my job and my essence is to kind of find those people, just talk to them, collaborate with them, have a dialogue, and then I think that sometimes our ideas would like kind of learn and kind of multiply, and we can
Yeah.
keep building the world. You know what I mean? So
Right.
that's what I think. I think world builders pay them,
And
pay
you got to
us.
pay them. Yeah.
You got to pay them. They're the taste. They're the
Mm.
everything that your brand needs to kind of move on. Very important. New. It's not a newfound idea. I think it's just a new coming of what like people are doing now. So, yeah.
And how do people find world builders? If you're like just starting out, if you're trying to like, because I feel like a lot of people are so scared. It's kind of like easier when you're already in the circle, right? But like, how do you get there? You just keep on networking, keep on
Trust.
going.
Trust is the hardest commodity that we have nowadays. There's numerous talented people who can do the stuff. It's trusting people, and people don't want to trust. They're like, if
Mm.
something's not done. So I think what I've learned to do and what I've been trying to do, and I struggle with this too, is
Yeah.
expectation.
Mm.
Um, a lot of people don't meet the expectation. I can be one of them, but ultimately, just try to explain that expectation better. As my brand has grown,
Yeah.
there's more expectations of me, but I'm still moving in what used to be expected of me.
Mm.
So I'm missing some the new expectations because of the scale and the growth
Right.
of what that is. But when we're talking about the world building, like people need tools. They need the
Mm.
tools to do that, and you got to make sure you gotta kind of give it to them in a palatable format so they can just create in their medium. The talent is there. People are able to do the skill. I think people just aren't trusting enough
Mm.
for it to actually happen. There's there's more talented people to do the job than there is to not do it.
Right.
So why are we having this issue with real cultural leaders? It's because
Mm.
people are trusting clout. People are trusting followers and not trusting the people. When the question
Ah.
that you asked was, how do you find them? World builders are silent until they don't want to be seen.
Mm.
World builders are normally recluse. They don't really want to be seen. They literally put barriers and systems in place for them, so you never find them. They don't want to be found, and
Mm.
we really don't know that thing. Like, they don't want you to know the recipe. If you know my recipe, you can do what I
Yeah,
do.
you can copy it.
You can copy it.
Yeah, copy paste.
Yeah, and also, speaking of world builders, like I don't never be when someone I've had people copy my ideas for years and years and years. People would call my phone and be mad for me, and I'm not mad. If I made it that they could get my recipe, I'm not cooking good enough.
Mm.
You should not be able to. If you can figure out how I'm cooking, congratulations, congratulations.
Yeah.
That means that you can follow a recipe.
Right.
You can follow a recipe, so that means that you're a world builder.
But that requires paying attention a lot, being observant and really taking the time to get that recipe because people think it's easy, but that's why recipes are a science.
Recipes
If
are a
if
science.
you are off by a little measurement, it's not going to be the product, unfortunately,
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And while we're on the subject, like recipes, like my brother always like he always would be like he wouldn't use a recipe, but he would always figure out ways, like he would call it like leftover casserole. So sometimes you'll follow a recipe, and like you said,
Yeah.
you'll let's assume that we put too much of something in it.
Mm.
You could actually still make something good.
Right.
So I like if you can conduct or do exactly what I've seen brands time and time again do what we did and actually implement it. And I'm like, that's tight. That's dope. I'm not gonna knock them. I'm not. There's no reason for me to even shout that I see what you're doing. I think they want me. I think some people want you to see what they're doing. I think it's like a serial killer, how they leave
Like
crumbs
breadcrumbs.
and like yo,
Little clues.
yeah, I want you to see, like, I want
Yeah.
your admiration, or I want you to be like, I see you, fam, because I learned this recipe from you. You can do that, or you can just keep cooking. I just
Right.
keep cooking all day.
Sometimes I think takes more time to learn somebody else's recipe than just creating your own.
Most people do that. I remember when I'm
You know?
looking for artists, sometimes they would be creating from somebody that's famous, and I would listen to it and I'd be like, this sounds like X, Y, and Z. But the fact that you can create it and sound this much like them means that you can unearth your own style and genre if we keep just ice picking at the axe.
Sorry, can you say that?
If we keep ice picking at the axe, like if we keep hitting the ice, like if we keep hitting the ice, I think we'll get something cool. Like you can still create something from that.
Right.
So if you do, let's say you do sound like a Lil Baby or something, or Travis or anybody, if you can replicate it, that's a context clue for me that says that you can at least create well, because you
Right.
can follow a recipe.
I mean, look at Drake. I feel like he's really good at kind of mimicking like other artists, but then
The best.
but then he knows how to flip it too, where it's original too. Like I think it's not like a carbon copy. It's like a
No.
an
He has his own sauce.
interpretation.
Yeah, he has his own
yeah.
sauce. Even when he does all the voices, like, I mean, like Drake is a fire songwriter. Like everything he like,
Yeah.
more flows than none.
Right.
We'll say that. And he's able to move into all these different regions and do that seamlessly. Some people are upset about it, but he's always done it.
Yeah.
When he first came out, they were mad that the Toronto dude
Was
sounding like Houston. I remember that was a conversation back then. So why are we mad 10 years later saying, oh, he sounds like he's doing patois? He's been doing these things because I feel like he's been a purveyor of all these cultures.
Yeah.
And I mean, some people will say you can mishandle culture for sure.
Yeah.
For sure you can. I'm not here on this podcast to bash anyone or what they do. I'm just here to talk about who cares about culture, and yeah.
Right.
I care about the culture.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Yes. Clearly. All right. So if this disappeared tomorrow, all of this, what would you want it to be or to have given people?
Just confidence. That's really all it is. Making people feel good. That's what makes the thing move. Like, this is all the service industry at the end of the day.
Yeah.
My whole family's been in the service industry. My brother's a chef. My dad used to do staffing. Got me my first job. He used to do litigation support for law firms. My mom works at nonprofits. So, it's funny that I just did something that would actually host people. It's not funny, but I guess it's all just a service. So if this all disappeared today, the services don't change. The regular services that humans need, food, water, shelter, entertainment, they'll always live.
Yeah.
Your name is your name. So
Right.
if this all disappeared today, you'll still have a name. Unless, if I'll still have my name. So because
Yeah.
I treated people right, I think I'll be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing. Well put. All right. So if people want to stay connected to you and what you're creating, where can they find you?
You can find me once a week at FERG.JP on Instagram. Sometimes
Yay.
I'll hop on. If you do want to do any features or whatever, I'm always here. Always down for podcasts. Cozy.
Yes.
Cozy or black tie, whatever. So I'm down for that. And, thank you for having me too, Calinnah.
Of course. Of course. And is there anything you'd like to point people towards?
White Durag. You can follow us on White Durag at most social platforms. I think on TikTok it's White Durag Party. But yeah, you can follow us, keep up with our moves and whatnot, what we're doing. We're supporting artists, looking for people to put on playlists, and just looking for like cultural movers, world builders, and everything. So we can continue building. I'm working on my next album right now. It's not working, it's done. We're just trying to figure out a language to drop it. So you can check that. You can follow that on FERG.JP. It might be an underscore on certain platforms depending on their letters and whatnot they'd let you use and characters. But I'm working on that. But yeah, you can find me in your local curated spot. I'm always there.
Thank you for being here and trusting me with this conversation. If this felt meaningful to you, you can support the podcast by subscribing. And if a moment stayed with you, feel free to leave a comment.